You know what? I gotta be honest. I wasn't planning on making another game. No, sir. No way, no how. Life was beautiful. It was simple. The sun shined every day. At least I think so? I don't know. I was inside playing Minecraft. But I knew, deep inside, that this wasn't the right way. My fans were waiting for another video. What was I doing? I was robbing them of their happiness, their privilege, of pure quality entertainment. No, I couldn't. So I needed to stop. Oh, finally! Oh my god, I've been wandering around this cave for like an hour. I swear to god, if it's not more than one, I'm gonna lose it. What? Really? Now? Oh well, guess I have to work now. So, 7 months ago, a fellow FNAF YouTuber by the name of Yeah posted a video where he talked about the most broken Five Nights at Freddy's fan game. Intrigued, and with my procrastination level at its peak, I decided to give it a try. The game in question was called Five Nights at Freddy's Evolution. It's a fairly old game, released by Nathan Zika on March 11th of 2017. There's a slight chance you might have heard of it, given that the game has somewhere around 3,200 followers on GameJolt. I sure remember it, and there's a chance I might have played it back then. But I'm not so sure, because in 2017, I had one of those old Toshiba laptops, and besides the fact that it weighed an actual ton, the mere thought of plugging it in would leave my neighbors without power for 3 days, so you couldn't really play anything on it. To no one's surprise, so Five Nights at Freddy's fan games were a good alternative on Saturday nights. Although I remember the game and its popularity in the community, I don't recall having any problems with it. So I was quite surprised that FNAF Evolution received the title of Most Broken Fan Game. But after I watched the video, I realized that my old Toshiba wasn't the problem. You know, I'm sorry I put all the blame on you. Granted, the game is pretty buggy, but in the developer's defense, he was probably a kid when he created it, unsure of his programming skills, just wanting to give something to the community he loves, which is understandable. And to be honest, the problems aren't that big. Now that I know a little about Click Team Fusion, I can find a solution to them. But solving problems isn't fun. No, sir. But creating them sure is. So today, I'm gonna create myself a problem by redoing the entire game from scratch. Now, there's no doubt that sound is one of the most crucial aspects of any game. And what better way to experience sound to the fullest than with the help of today's sponsor, Raycon. Whether I'm working, exercising, or even just lying in bed watching YouTube, for me, it's always important to enjoy sound to the fullest. And Raycon does a great job helping me with that, especially when it comes to their new model and its tons of new features. The new everyday earbuds have a battery life of up to 32 hours and also multi-connectivity features that allow you to connect them to 2 devices at once. And if you're easily distracted like I am, their active noise cancelling feature is a must. It is so good that not even FNAF 4 will scare you anymore. Are you sure? Yeah, trust me. Oh wait, that's not how noise cancelling works, is it? Raycon were kind enough to send me a pair of earbuds, which I used in the creation of this video. To my surprise, they were very comfortable, even after many hours of wearing them. Also, the idea of charging them for 10 minutes, giving me 90 minutes of battery life, to me just was amazing. I just plugged them in, went and drank some water, stretched for a bit, and then they were ready for another working session. And besides, can we just talk about how cool these case designs are? Like, look how well it matches with my tie. So if I've convinced you, go to buyraycon.com/weirdospeed to get up to 25% off site-wide and get yourself an early Christmas present. Again, that's buyraycon.com/weirdospeed to get up to 25% off site-wide. And thank you, Raycon, for sponsoring this video. Should I put them here or here? Now that it's just us, I have to be honest. I may have overdone it a bit. I'm not going to make the whole game from scratch. I really could, but I only have 3 weeks to work on it, and I'm not some kind of masochist. Somewhere, you have to draw the line, you know? I mean, I'm a guy pretending to be a blue rabbit on the internet, whose voice changes every 4 videos, so you know, I don't have much of a choice here. Rule of thumb in game development is if the deadline is tight, so should the game be. And 3 weeks means small demo. Maybe 2 nights, a sweet, better, less buggy version of FNAF Evolution. That's all you're gonna get, you crazy ding-dongs. A yes video was such a helpful way to learn more about FNAF Evolution in little to no time. And because of that, I'm not going to steal the man's bread, or in this case, the dog's bone. So I'm going to present some elements as well, but if you want a full overview of the game, I highly recommend his video. You have a card up here as well as a link in the description to go watch it. So FNAF Evolution is basically Five Nights at Freddy's 2. The player is trapped in an office with their only defenses being a tablet, a flashlight, and a mask. Each animatronic will try to enter the office through the hallway, which is their only way to get to you. There are no vents in this version. The only difference is that instead of appearing in the hallway, requiring you to flash him, Foxy will appear later in the game, on both sides of the office. You'll still need to flash him, but at least he's the only one who tries to be different. So, you know, I gotta give him points for that. Of course, the game includes other characters, like Mangle and the Golden Duo, Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. They appear much later in the game or in the post-shift minigames, which is why I decided to leave them aside for the demo. I will create all models from scratch, so the fewer the better. The focus will be on the main characters and the puppet, who in this game struggles with social injustice. His movements, a metaphor for the introvert trapped in his own shell, fighting 2 battles with himself and with a cruel world waiting to see him fall. That's exactly what's happening here. If you see anything else, and you'll probably see something else, I personally think it's time to go touch some grass. Or a psychologist's couch. The good thing about remaking a game is that you already have all the material ready-made. Your job is to just add your own twist to it. Starting with the animatronics, the inspiration from Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is visible in their design as well. Taking Freddy as an example, the shape of the head, the pair of teeth on the top, and the 2 buttons on his belly link him to Withered Freddy, while the overall plastic look, the circles of the eyes, and the spheres around the joints link him to Toy Freddy. Another detail of these models is the presence of a cut on the torso, which links them to the Funtime animatronics. After all, these guys were called funtilized. Did I say that right? Once I established what makes a funtilized design, my job was much easier. I decided to use the original design as an inspiration and not copy it completely. As you can see, the head looks similar to the original, but at the same time it's different enough to stand on its own. Same for the body. To make my workflow a little bit easier, I decided to create a general body that I could use for the other animatronics later on. It took me a few tries, mostly off camera, but once I saw Freddy finished, I knew all the work was worth it. After that, creating Bonnie was a breeze. All I did was modify Freddy's head and add the characteristic elements of a rabbit: teeth, ears, and whiskers. Chica's original design looks a little out of place, and I think yeah said it best.
Well, she looks like if you took a FNAF World model and stretched it to be the same height as a normal FNAF animatronic.
So, I added those circles for her eyes and a cut on her torso, hoping that would help. I don't know, you tell me. I also decided to give Cupcake a new design. I really think it looks good, but again, I don't know. You tell me. In classic Weirdo speed fashion, Foxy started to look like a cow, perfectly normal for these parts of the tube. But don't worry, I have 730 hours in Blender, so I got this. Also, in classic Five Nights at Freddy's fashion, I need to have 2 versions of Foxy, one whole and gorgeous for photos, and one sad and broken for the spooks. If he manages to get there. While I'm writing the script, I don't have a design for the puppet yet. I tried something, but I'm not exactly happy with the result, so I'll try something else. But as you can see, I don't have much to work with. This design, it's cuckoo. A while ago, I came across Five Nights at Thomas's Dehydrated, a remake of the game with the same title. The game is cool, and it's a step up in terms of quality for sure, but what I liked the most was the way the office was framed. You see, in most fan games, the resolution of the render used for the office is much higher than the frame itself. As an example, if the game has a resolution of 1920 by 1080, then the office render will be 2500 by 1080. This method is used for scrolling, and in combination with a panoramic shader, it gives that illusion of 3D. Now, there are several methods of scrolling. One that I always liked was the one where you use animations to move your attention in a specific direction. To better understand that, the game Jollibee uses this method. Visually, it looks great, but you got some work to do. I want to use this method, but I don't want to animate that much, and that's where Five Nights at Thomas's comes in. In most cases, your attention is guided directly to the middle of the room. What the developer did was move the camera, thus moving the point of focus between what would normally be the point of focus, in my case the computer, and the door. And by adding a projection shader, we get a similar idea to Jollibee, but smoother. As you saw with The Office, I decided to recreate the entire design of the location from scratch. I juggled with a few options, made a few sketches, and finally arrived at this version. As I write this, not all the rooms are finished, so what you see here may change in the final build. For the animatronics, I chose a similar design, and for the location, I made everything from scratch. For the mechanics, I will be somewhere in the middle. I'll keep some things and change others. The first thing I want to change is the method of tracking the animatronics. You will still be looking at the cameras, but instead of a tablet, you'll be using a computer. This way, you have a good reason to come back to the left side of the office, instead of staying at the door all night. And to keep the computer UI clean, I added a remote control that will help you change each camera. Your defense will still be the mask, but which one? When an animatronic appears at the door, you have to choose its mask. In this way, I managed to keep the general idea of the original while adding a twist that makes the mechanics a little bit more fun. Foxy will still appear in the office, but this time he will work more like Balloon Boy. Once he appears, you have no chance of winning. You can turn it off though. There's a radio on the desk that's playing a song. As long as that song is playing, Foxy won't be able to enter the office. As for the puppet, I've ditched the idea of spinning the music box because it forces you to stay on one camera all night. Instead, Puppet will have the Fun Time Foxy mechanic from Ultimate Custom Night. A sign will appear in the price quarter with a specific time when you need to check the camera. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish the game on time. I was supposed to release the demo today, but due to some issues with my spine, plans have changed. I explained the whole situation down below in the description if you're interested in reading it. The demo will come out eventually, but for now I'll be focusing on recovery, which is why I'm also taking a break from YouTube until February. This year has been amazing, and it's all because of you guys. We finished the year with 200,000 subscribers, and for that I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Also, this year was special because Weirdos Speed was no longer just one guy, but a whole team. And I want to thank my team for all the hard work they've put in. None of this would have been possible without you. Also, note here from Martinni, the voice actor, or the new voice actor for Weirdos Speed. I just wanted to give my personal thanks as well to Weirdos Speed for, hiring me as the new voice of his channel. I've had a lot of fun in the past videos. I know that I haven't been here for a long time, but it already feels like, I'm playing a character that I'm really grateful for. I want to give a big shout out to David as well, the original voice actor, for telling me about, this channel and giving me the opportunity to connect with Weirdo Speed, which obviously eventually led to me hopping on board. And, it's been a lot of fun so far. I really feel sort of at home. And yeah, the reception from you guys as well has been great. I remember seeing some of the comments when there was the voice change. I like how Weird Speed sort of made it a lore thing, but you guys have been really welcoming, and I'm glad that you enjoyed my voice as a good fit for the character. So that's been really helpful, and it's been a great reception overall. And I'm grateful for being part of the channel and being part of the community at the end of the day. And yeah, anyways, with that said, take care and thanks for watching, everyone. Happy holidays, and I'll see you in February. Bye bye now.